Hey guys, today we're going to be changing the oil in the oil filter on our 2013 Honda Odyssey van. First up, I'm going to show you all the different things that we're going to use today. I've got a creeper right here. It just enables me to get underneath the vehicle a lot easier than just crawling on the concrete, plus it's more comfortable. You got your oil pan here to catch all your old oil. There's some wheel ramps. I prefer to use these over a jack just because I'm able to drive up onto them. It's a lot less work. And also I've got my wheel chocks back there for safety purposes so the vehicle doesn't roll backwards. Next, I like to use nitrile gloves. These are disposable, so once I'm done with the job I can just toss them. You can use regular work gloves, but they're gonna get pretty messy. In the long run, I highly suggest just using these disposable ones. Next, I've got some shop towels. You can use rags too if you want. I've got a funnel right there. Then we have our fully synthetic oil. The Honda Odyssey takes 0 weight 20 and it takes 4.5 quarts. So this is a 5-quart jug. We won't use the entire thing. Next is the new oil filter. That's the specific model of the STP brand that the Honda Odyssey uses. Then I've got our oil filter pliers. Next, our socket wrench with a 9/16 socket. That's to remove the drain plug. And then finally, just in case we need it, I've got a hammer and a screwdriver. Sometimes the oil filter is really on there and I've had to utilize these in order to get them loose. So hopefully we don't need it today. All right, so we're gonna get the van up on the ramps right now, and I'm also gonna let the engine run to warm up the oil. It's pretty cold out here. It's about 35 degrees. And we're going to put our wheel chocks behind the back rear wheels. We're going to let it run for a few minutes. Now that the engine is a little warmed up, the first thing up in the hood is we're going to remove the engine oil cap right here. Should just unscrew nice and easy. Don't want to lose this down there. Here we go. That's where the oil, the new oil, is going to go. You can actually keep the cap right here. There's a little work area that they built into the engine compartment up here. Hey, so forget what I said in the intro. It's actually a 17mm socket that we're going to be using for the drain plug. So once you've got the engine oil cap off, we're going to get up under the vehicle, and back over here is the oil pan. You'll see there's a little bit of residual oil I've got here. Here is the plug, and you're going to loosen it with the socket wrench. So once you're underneath here, the plug's right here. You want to have a paper towel or a rag ready to catch this because it's going to have oil on it. It's actually already got a little bit just because it's a little loose. But you also want to have your drain pan ready to catch all this oil because it's going to start flowing out. So here we go. I'm going to loosen it. Once you loosen it, you can actually guide it out with your fingers. It's just that first little bit. There it goes. The oil's not too hot, but we want it to be a little warm so that it flows a lot easier. At this point in time, I'm cleaning the drain plug off with the paper towel that we've got here. Getting it ready for when we put it back on. Scooting my pan over a little bit because the oil's starting to slow down. And we just let that set for a few minutes as all of the different components have oil stored up inside of them. It should be roughly around 4.5 quarts as well. Now that it's slowed down to a drip, we're going to go ahead and put the drain bolt back on. Just screw it on there. Get it nice and finger tight. Wipe up around here. And then you want to tighten it with your socket wrench. So next is the oil filter. That's that orange thing you see right there with the black bottom. And we're now on the left side of the vehicle, whereas we were on the middle. There's the pan right there, so it's just right there next to it. I've got our oil pan ready to catch all the oil that's inside of there, and then I also like to unwrap the new one and just have the box ready to catch the old one because it's gonna be full of gunk anyways. So once I loosen it with our pliers, I'm gonna let it sit and drain into the oil pan for a little bit. Comes off nice and easy. There's a lot of clearance here in the front wheel well of the Honda Odyssey. So once it's loose like that, you can actually use your hands. Once you get it loose enough, there will start to be some oil. There it goes. Quite a few turns on this guy. There we go. So we'll turn it upside down, let it drain for a little bit. What's nice is I live right next to an auto parts store, and they'll actually let you come and give all the used engine oil for free. It is against the law to dump this or try and dispose of any used engine oil in the environment. So just be responsible. They actually take and recycle it and reuse it for future oil changes. So that's about as empty as it'll get. And then I'm gonna put it in the box right here. And we're just gonna sit and wait for that to drain out a little bit more. So in preparation for installing the new filter, this one actually comes with a plastic wrap on the top. So you're gonna wanna peel that off, otherwise it's not gonna work properly. And then you wanna open up your engine oil and get a little bit on your finger. Get a little wet, and then you're gonna put it on the threads right here and around the gasket. And that makes sure that there's a nice good seal around the oil filter and you won't get any air bubbles in the system. There we go. So once it's done draining, you want to take another towel and you want to clean up this area where there's some of the residual oil from the drippage. And then you want to also get up in there and you want to clean where the filter gets attached. So there, right there, that's where we're going to attach the new one. You want to just wipe around all the edges and up inside of that hole to get all the old engine oil off. So now that we've gotten that area clear, we're gonna put the new filter on, hand tighten it, nice and secure. And what's great about this is you only want to hand tighten these. You don't have to use the pliers. You just want to get it nice and snug, because once you turn on the engine, it'll actually suction up onto there. So it's nice and tight and the system is closed. So there we go right there. Once you're positive that you've tightened the drain plug and installed the new oil filter properly underneath, we can go ahead and start pouring in our new oil. So I've got my funnel here. Actually, I have to squeeze it in order to get down in here. There we go. And remember, the Honda Odyssey only takes 4.5 quarts, not the full 5. So a lot of these, they actually have indicators here on the side where the liquid is. So we're gonna pour in at just about all of the jug, but then we're gonna check it every now and then at the very end just to make sure that we don't overfill. So once you're done filling it up back with oil, we're gonna reinstall the oil cap right here, just hand tightening it. There we go. And then you want to start it up. You want to watch underneath to make sure that there's no leaks in case the drain plug or the oil filter aren't tightened all the way. Finally, once we're done cleaning up, we want to come inside and reset the service reminder. So I've got the car started, and once you're on the service section, you want to press and hold the button here, and it's going to be roughly about 10 seconds before everything starts blinking. There we go. And so now we want to press and hold again. Keep pressing and holding it. And then we press and hold it again. There we go. So again, we get to the service. Now it says oil life that we've changed it. You press and hold for 10 seconds till it starts blinking. Press and hold for about another 5, and then press and hold for about another 5 until your oil life changes to 100%. So thank you guys. If you have any questions or comments, please post them below. But make sure to subscribe for more content in the future. Thanks.